Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. Welcome to Extra Crispy. For today's video, I will be reacting to my final mock draft. Not my mock draft, but Sports Illustrated mock draft right here for the 2021 NBA draft, man. I'm so excited for this week. Been listening to a ton of trolling about Cade, people saying the Pistons are going to screw it up and all that good stuff, man. Been hearing it long before we got the first pick in the draft. Gonna be hearing it long after we draft Cade with the #1 pick in the draft, man. And I don't really care because I'm excited for my franchise. It's been a rough 10 years watching Kyle Singler, Stanley Johnson, Brandon Knight, Greg Monroe, and so many others out there that pissed me off over the years. But, yeah, man, it's going to be a very big night, draft night for my favorite basketball team, the T.O. Rhett Snotsip, or the Detroit Pistons. I had to be on the side of the screen, man. So here we go. Sports Illustrated by Jeremy Woo. I already read this first part here, so I know there's going to be no surprise for the first pick. The first pick in the draft, man. We got Cade Cunningham to the Detroit Pistons. It is the no-brainer pick right here, man. We're not going to trade it. It's not going to happen. We're not trading the pick away, man, okay? We can get over that. It's so funny. Every single day I got Houston Rocket fans like tagging me and stuff saying, oh, the Houston Rockets are aggressive in trading for the first pick. Y'all be as aggressive as hell, bro. Because on draft night, we getting Cade. You guys can have Jalen, okay? He's cool. He's a great player. Be happy to have him, okay? You got Kevin Porter, but Cade is going to be a Detroit Piston, and I cannot wait. With the second pick in the draft, they got... Okay, I thought that said Jalen Suggs for a second, and everything I was about to say was going to be crazy. But no, man, Jalen Green is really going to be good for the Houston Rockets. Obviously, by losing James Harden, they lost 97% of their offense. I do think Jalen Green, at least scoring-wise, can take care of a lot of that, especially if Kevin Porter, really comes up too. Christian Wood healthy for the season and everything. The Rockets are in a pretty good place with their rebuild, man. They really are getting that second pick in the draft. Do I think Jalen Green is the most, needed player on the team? No, I still think they need a point guard more so than anything, but Jalen Green's too talented to pass up on him. So yeah, man, because Kevin Porter, I guess, can play some point guard, but I don't know if he's really a natural point guard, which is kind of a stupid term these days, but regardless, they're in a good place, man, so I'm excited to see what the Rockets do, all things considered. And let me just say, it's been the Rockets fans coming at me, not me coming at the Rocket fans. I'm still very excited for their franchise and stuff. So, number 3, we got Evan Mobley to the Cleveland Cavaliers. I do think this is going to be the case. Last thing I read was they were saying Chris Bosh offensively, Anthony Davis defensively. That's an NBA superstar. Plain and simple, I don't know if he's going to be a center or a forward, though, for the Cleveland Cavaliers because of Jared Allen. I think at that point, you probably trade away Kevin Love. You don't re-sign Jared Allen, and then all of a sudden, you got all this cap space freed up, assuming they can trade away Kevin. Well, I guess they'll have to take on some contracts, hopefully some expiring deals. What I would actually probably do is probably try to tank the season and, then have a ton of money freed up in the offseason, right, man, for the 2022 loaded free agent class. So, yeah, really good place for the Cavaliers. Evan Mobley is going to be a beast. Number 4, they got Jalen Suggs to the Toronto Raptors. I do think this is who you go with in this case. I think the first 4 players are the no-brainer guys up in there, man. Yeah, Fred VanVleet, Jalen Suggs, it's a great backcourt. Offensively, it could be very dominant. Defensively, maybe a little worried about it, but I do think that Jalen and Fred both have, that bulldog mentality where, yeah, maybe they're not, the tallest dudes out there for those positions. Well, 6'4" point guard's not bad, but then again, these days, it seems like every damn point guard's 6'10" or whatever. Or primary ball handler, I should say. But regardless, yeah, they'll be great, man. Jalen Suggs is going to be really good. That Raptors team is already really good. They had one little bad off-season. Well, off-season. Not off-season, off-season. Last season was not the greatest, right? But they'll be back better than ever. Heard they were actually interested in Ben Simmons also, so we'll see if that happens. Number 5, we got Scotty Barnes to the Magic. So a lot of mock drafts I've been seeing is Kuminga to the Magic, but also I can see where Scotty Barnes, very intriguing. I would say maybe a more versatile, well, I don't want to, not versatile, because Draymond Green's very versatile. But I would say small forward Draymond Green is the best way I could put it. I think Scotty Barnes probably a small forward. Draymond's obviously a power forward. So maybe I could say more athletic Draymond Green. Is kind of what I've been hearing from Scotty Barnes. But hopefully he can pick up his offense a little bit because in this era of basketball, unless you play with Steph Curry and Klay Thompson and Kevin Durant, you got to be able to shoot the basketball, man. I really do believe that based off the position you play. Next up, we got the Thunder going with James Bouknight. Okay, so this is the first I've seen of James Bouknight. Going number 6 to the Thunder. But then again, they already have Dort for the small forward spot. So I actually had them getting Scotty Barnes, personally speaking. But James also makes a lot of sense, man. Just an instant bucket getter. With him and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, that is your backcourt of the future. So, yeah, not a bad little look, all things considered. For the Warriors, from the Timberwolves, we got them taking Jonathan Kuminga. 6'8" forward, very athletic, very raw prospects. That's why I'm a little I'm still, if I had to bet, man, at some point, whoever they draft here, or even before the draft, which is in the next few days, I still think at some point this Warriors pick gets traded, man. I really think that is the case. They already got a project sort of with James Wiseman. And by that, I mean James Wiseman wouldn't really be a project on a rebuilding team, but for the Warriors, he's seen as a project because he's not going to be like his greatest right away. Took DeAndre Ayton, who was the #1 pick a few seasons to, get to the NBA Finals with the Suns to be a big time contributor to that team, right, man? So same thing with Wiseman. Kuminga, same case there. I really think the pick's going to get traded. Next up, we got the Magic going with Franz Wagner at number 8. That's the highest I've seen him going. No, I guess I had, when I did the mock draft with 6 rings, I think he actually also had Franz Wagner going to the Orlando Magic. Just a really versatile player. I've watched a lot of Franz on the Michigan Wolverines. You can really plug him in. I can honestly say Franz could essentially play the 1 through 4 spot. I would probably say the 3 or the 4. Probably the 3 spot would probably be like his best positioning, but he could play 1 through 4 with his ball handling skills. Next up, we got the Kings going with Alperen Sengun right here out of Turkey. And, yeah, he kind of is more like your traditional type of center. I personally was watching him. I was thinking maybe a Sabonis, but maybe a better comparison would kind of be like the way he plays, like an Enes Kanter, which I don't know if that's a good thing or not. Hopefully he's a little bit better defensively than Enes Kanter is. But, yeah, if I was the Kings, I would actually go with the center. That is what they need. I mean, they got some solid forwards on the team. They got some solid guards already. I would say center is probably the way to go in this case. Next up, we got the Pelicans going with Josh Giddey. So 6'8" point guard out of Australia. People were saying Luka Doncic comparisons. I mean, we can't compare every single 6'8" ball handler to Luka Doncic, but here we are doing it. Luka Doncic, those guys do not just like pop out of nowhere. So, yeah, man, I think 10's a little bit of a reach for Josh Giddey. I don't know if I like this. I want this Pelicans team to get some more shooting on the squad. I think they need some more shooting, plain and simple. Next up, we got the Hornets with Kai Jones. They do need a center. Kai Jones seems like a bit of reach, bro. I'm not liking this mock draft, to be honest, man. I'm really not. But Kai Jones could be nice out of Texas. 6'11" player, more of your inside type of dude, like DeAndre Jordan type. We got the Spurs going with Corey Kispert. So for some 3-point shooting, okay. Okay, yeah, like Moses Moody's still on the board. I'll probably take Moses Moody number 10 for the Pelicans. Okay, we got Davion Mitchell to the Pacers. 22-year-old point guard. TJ McConnell very well could be going to a different team. I know he's a free agent, so not a bad player. Davion Mitchell, really good offensively, just like a smart point guard. And honestly, I do think a guy like a Malcolm Brogdon would be a great mentor for Davion Mitchell, so I actually don't mind that. Number 14, we got the Warriors going with Chris Duarte. I had him kind of going later in the rounds. But Chris Duarte, a 6'6" player, I think he's more of a combo guard. It says he's listed as the 2 spot, but I think he plays some point guard also, which obviously would be nice for the Warriors unit and really playing with Steph Curry or Klay Thompson. He could play with either one of those guys on the court. So not a bad pick. Age 24 senior, so definitely an older head rookie, which is good for a championship contending team. 15, we got the Wizards going with Moses Moody. That would be an absolute steal if they get a guy like Moses at 15 because obviously Bradley Beal, we don't really know what's going to happen with the man, so instantly being able to replace him with Moses Moody would be great for their rebuild. For the Thunder, we got them going with Keon Johnson. I do like Keon, maybe coming off their bench. Yeah, because they originally had Diallo, who they obviously traded to the Detroit Pistons for Svi Mykhailiuk, and I believe a second-round pick. But in this case, like Keon Johnson, I think could actually be a pretty similar player, just extremely athletic and stuff. So, yeah, I like that pick for the Thunder. For the Grizzlies, we got Trey Murphy. Not going to lie, I don't know much about him. I guess kind of reading about him right here. Not a great ball handler, creative passer, has a good sense of his own strengths and weaknesses and shouldn't be a major liability. Scouts, blah, 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 blah. Cam Johnson is a comparison. Okay, so a dude that can probably shoot the lights out, right? Got some athleticism, too. That'd be nice for the Grizzlies, of course. For the Thunder, we got them going with Jalen Johnson. See, I love picks like this for the Thunder. They got so many draft picks. In some cases, like, there is going to be room for some of these rookies to play, but at the same time, we got so many picks, like, you got to be selective. Jalen Johnson, though, a very high ceiling player, but also a very risky pick, too. We don't quite know what he's going to be. He didn't really show out all that much on Duke, but could be something. For the Knicks, Isaiah Jackson. I love this pick right here for them. Some sort of big guy, at least to some extent, just because, when it comes down to it, like Nerlens Noel is probably going to get a pretty hefty contract. Well, hefty to his standards. From a contending type of team out there because he was very good defensively, very underrated defensive player in the sense that I just don't think we're paying enough attention to Nerlens Noel. So, yeah, you have Mitchell Robinson be the full-time starter, and you start kind of like going with Isaiah Jackson as the backup, and maybe even bring back like Taj Gibson, right? Or somebody else. For the Hawks, we got Zaire Williams. 6'9", small forward freshman. Maybe a few years away, but maybe, is a guy that could be a good backup. At least to start off, right? I don't think he's going to start over like DeAndre Hunter or Cam Reddish. For the Knicks, we have them going with Usman Garuba. I actually had them originally taking Usman in my personal mock draft I did with 6 Rings of Steel, just because like Usman is, 6'8" player. Probably actually more of a power forward. My mock draft has him listed as a center. I think he's a power forward though. But the thing about him, man, is that he has like potential to be a really good 3-point shooter, or at least a knockdown 3-point shooter. But this dude's got great athleticism, great defense. I was saying maybe like a PJ Washington type, because PJ Washington actually was like a league leader in blocked shots. Not the league leader, but he was up there. And obviously can shoot the 3-ball good too, man. So that's kind of what I like for Usman's, comparison. Next up, we got the Lakers going with Jared Butler, defensive-oriented point guard right there, very smart player, a guy that I think could, at least for this Lakers team, be a good, solid backup for them. For the Rockets, we got Daron Sharp out of North Carolina. I would say he's your traditional inside type of center, which for the Rockets, they kind of got away from like the big guys and stuff like that, going small ball the past few seasons, kind of getting back into things once they traded Clint Capella, but they brought in Christian Wood, who's a big guy. Last season. So kind of building up and realizing, okay, like, you don't want to go full on small ball. I think I originally had Daron going to the Nets because they really, and at this point, like the Nets of Kai Jones, Isaiah Jackson, Daron Sharp being off the board, there's not going to be like a lot of great centers left for them, like first round centers in my opinion. For the Rockets, we got Joshua Primo out of shooting guard out of Alabama. Honestly, don't know much about him. Clippers, Bones Highland, heard great things about this kid right here, man. A lot of people are really talking this guy up right here, saying he's going to be an absolute beast. And I love his name. Like, Bones, that's just that's a fantastic name. Bones Highland. Like, that just gives me, like, future NBA superstar, vibes right there. Just that name, man. Like, 50 years from now, people are going to say, oh, y'all remember, like, Bones? Yeah, Bones on the Clippers. Yeah, won them 17 straight championships. Gives me those vibes. Number 26, we got Cam Thomas to the Nuggets, so 6'4" shooting guard. Looks like he is a defensive-oriented guy. Nothing wrong there, especially playing in the back with Jamal Murray. Always good to have some, solid defenders with the Jamal. We got the Nets going with Miles McBride right here, point guard out of West Virginia. Actually, not a bad little idea, considering that Dinwiddie's probably going to be gone. So, yeah, never too soon to kind of get like that next guy going with the team. 76ers Trey Mann, heard good things about him. They already got Tyrese Maxey. They don't really need a guy like Trey Mann, but then you get a Ben Simmons gets traded. Then, you might need some more guards on the team. We got the Suns going with Jaden Springer. Absolutely love this guy. Jaden Springer, in my opinion, plays just like a prime Derrick Rose, bro. I see that same similar style to him. And, have him, get CP3 back for a few seasons. You obviously got like Campaign on the team, but Jaden Springer definitely a guy that could be mentored and being, I would say, the starting point guard for this team in the future. We got the Jazz going with Quentin Grimes, shooting guard, offensive player. Don't really know if that's really the most needed player. I would say they more so maybe need like some type of like forward out there with guys like Bogdanovich getting a little bit older, same with Joe Ingles. But Quentin Grimes, like they already got obviously Mitchell is the starting shooting guard, but you also got Jordan Clarkson, so I think there's some better positions to get for them. And then real quick, you're going through the second round. Josh Christopher to the Bucks, Sharif Cooper to the Knicks. We all get, was that like the Reggie Bullock trade or something? Isaiah Todd to the Magic, Thunder with Jeremiah Robinson. Pelicans, Joel Ayo to the Thunder, JT Thor to the Pistons. Wow, I mean, I love this man's name, Thor. God of Thunder, bro. I'm just kind of going to go through this a little quickly right here. Spurs with BJ Boston, nice pickup. Charles to the Nets, that would be nice. That's exactly the type of player they need, so that would be great. Greg Brown to the, I love Greg Brown, man. I was saying Amari Stoudemire, in my opinion. Deshaun Nix to the Nets. Okay, so overall, I don't know if I agree with this mock draft 100%, but that's how mock drafts go. So I'm so excited, man, for just to like see how things kind of pan out and to go from there. Thank you all so much for watching, and peace out, my friends.